you can't have too much information. I think public service is essentially information dissemination service. The people cannot know enough. So it's so nice that there is this opportunity of engagement with the state house correspondents. We had a public outing organized by the Ministry of Information and Culture for us about 4 weeks ago. It got a rave review everywhere. So it's always nice to engage the press. The only wala is that at times one could be quoted out of context. Though I trust those of you who are here, you're about the best in the trade. So you are welcome. Interestingly, this might be the valedictory engagement at this level, unless it's an emergency. If you do a count, it's about 120 days today, if not 119 days today, all told, including even Sundays, that this administration will still have to serve Nigerians. But it doesn't matter. To the last second, we will be here. So I thank you for the opportunity of this engagement. I think my name is well known. I'm Abdul Rauf Adesoji Aregbesola, and I start like this. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Aqul hamdulillahi alladhi lam yattakhiz waladan wa lam yakun lahu sharikun fil mulk wa lam yakun lahu waliyyun min adh-dhulli. He's the greatest, and I call on him to put me through this engagement. And that there's nobody worthy of worship other than him. Just an attestation of faith. I think I've recognized all that should be recognized. The Ministry of Interior's second edition of the State House press briefing will highlight the achievements of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in the past 8 years, less 119 days. This presentation is designed to provide a veritable source of information to showcase the achievements we have recorded. It will touch on the ministry as well as the 4 agencies it supervises. The ministry oversees 4 paramilitary agencies and a board, and these are Nigerian Correctional Service, NCOS, under the leadership of Controller General Nababa. I want you to stand up when I mention your name, please stand up, let them see you. Let me go back, I will go back on that because I want it to really follow an order. I want them to see you. I want them to have impression, to create an impression about you. How you look, what you wear, and all of that. The ministry oversees 4 paramilitary agencies and a board. These are Nigerian Correctional Service under the leadership of Controller General Nababa. That's the man in charge of the Nigerian Correctional Service. Thank you. Please, you can take your seat. Nigeria Immigration Service, NIS, under the leadership of Acting Controller General Jerry Ahmed. Thank you. The Federal Fire Service, under Jaji. Controller General. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, under the leadership of Commandant General Audi. Thank you. And the Civil Defense, Correctional, Fire, and Immigration Services Board, CDCFIB, under the leadership, under the executive secretaryship of Our Lady. The board is responsible for recruitment, promotion, and discipline of officers and men of the 4 paramilitary agencies within the ministry. It's small, but very, very effective. It will be recalled that the current Ministry of Interior was first created as Ministry of Internal Affairs in 1957, the year I was born, by the colonial government. The ministry has since gone through different metamorphoses as a few successive administrations excised the Ministry of Police Affairs from it. The ministry was again merged with the Ministry of Police Affairs in 2015 by President Muhammadu Buhari, but eventually excised from it at the beginning of Mr. President's second term in 2019. The Ministry of Interior has the mandate for formulating, implementing policies and programs that enhance internal security, public safety, create an enabling environment for foreign investors, as well as the promotion and maintenance of the integrity of the Nigerian citizenship identity, all of which are key pillars in the 9 priority areas of Mr. President's administration. The ministry also has the mandate for registration of places of worship for the purpose of conduct of statutory marriages, issuance of expatriate quota, and permit for foreign businesses to operate in Nigeria, as well as processing applications for Nigerian citizenship and renunciation of same for the constitution of the president. As you may be aware, the focus of this administration is built around 3 strategy areas of security, economy, and transparency, SET. From these broad objectives, the federal government has selected 9 main priority areas for intervention, and they are: stabilize the macro economy, increase agricultural productivity and food security, ensure energy sufficiency, improve transportation and other infrastructure, drive industrialization, improve health education and productivity of Nigerians, enhance social inclusion by scaling up social investment, fight corruption and improve governance, and provide security for all citizens. From these 9 priorities, the key performance indicator of the Ministry of Interior is the provision of security for all citizens. That does not mean we do not interface with other strategic areas, but that's our own major key performance indicator. The ministry and its agencies between 2015 to date worked assiduously to achieve the presidential and ministerial mandates by evolving approaches to internal security, public safety, and citizenship integrity, driven by innovation, people, technology, and systems, in addition to robust collaboration with critical stakeholders. We are determined to make our services available to the public in a seamless and customer-centric manner. Our promise is to keep improving on services we render to the public and delivering our mandate until the end of this administration on the 29th of May 2023. I want to thank Mr. President and the Executive Council for the support we have received in this regard. Achievements of the Ministry of Interior. The Institute of Domestic Security. In recognition of the mandate of the Ministry to foster and ensure the maintenance of internal security and citizens' integrity for the promotion of good governance for the nation. Regrettably, there is no command and control institution for the leadership development, strategic training, and the conduct of research on internal security. To fill this gap, The Institute of Domestic Security, let me check it again. To fill this gap foregoing has created a significant gap. I'm not sure this is right. To fill this gap, however, which has created a significant gap in the capacity of our paramilitary institutions and other security bodies, it was realized that we need to have an Institute for Domestic Security, which will serve as a platform to bridge identified gaps. And for that purpose, we have a National Institute of Domestic Security located in, where is that? Urhobo, very close to Ilesha in Osun. Actions have been concluded for this purpose. And what are those actions? Program and curriculum development, development of governance structure, legal and institutional framework towards the takeoff of the institute. A 45-hectare land has been secured in Ilesha, Urhobo specifically, to be sure, for its takeoff. Stakeholders' engagement on internal security and conflict resolution across the country. In line with the mandate of the ministry and considering the challenging security situation in the country, stakeholders' engagements on internal security and conflict resolution across the country were organized in conjunction with the relevant ministries, departments, and agencies. Implementation of the Nigerian Internal Security Public Alert System, NALART. Nigeria Internal Security and Public Alert System, NALART, is an integrated single mobile application developed online linkages of eCTB's platform with other portals. In order to enhance the integrity of processes for expatriate quota services and enable online verification of documentation between the various MDAs, thereby minimizing incidents of forgery, the ministry established online linkages with the Nigerian Immigration Service portal, immigration.gov.ng, and the Federal Inland Service, FIRS.gov.ng. The ministry continues to engage with Corporate Affairs Commission and the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board in order to finalize a similar connectivity. We are working on that. Introduction of inspection regime. The ministry held 2 conferences with the stakeholders on the administration of expatriate quota and conduct of statutory marriage in April and May of 2021, and introduced the new inspection regime at the 2 conferences. The objective was to confirm that the utilization of approved expatriate quota are in conformity with the approval of the ministry and ensure that Nigerian graduates are engaged as understudies by the company, so as to ensure the transfer of skills and knowledge to Nigerian graduates and generate employment, which is one of the cardinal promises of our administration. Establishment of Electronic Document Management System, EDMS. The purpose of this project is to expand on the implementation of complete electronic document management system solution, which will include digitizing records and documents, transporting to the facility of centralized record storage center at companies' required custodian locations. So we won't be moving files again. That's the essential focus of that. The ministry's achievement in summary. The ministry has successfully concluded the monitoring and evaluation of 2020 capital projects executed by the ministry and its services, namely the main ministry, Nigeria Correctional Service, Nigeria Immigration Service, Federal Fire Service, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, A total number of 297 projects were monitored and evaluated during the period under review. The ministry's strategy retreat with the theme driving performance in achieving the presidential mandate on Nigeria's internal security. This was held on Friday 10th, Saturday 11 January 2020 at Zenaba. The first of such retreat in the annals of the ministry was held on the 10th, from 10th to 11th of January 2020 at Zenaba Hotel and Resort in Ilesha, State of Osun. And the purpose was to bring together all the executives of the various agencies and the ministry to jointly look at how we can improve our service delivery. The second one was held in Kwara, and the team was developing internal security and public safety towards a 5-year strategic plan for accelerated national development. Again, it was successful, and we are cruising along. Data for some essential things are here, particularly marriages. Yeah. Let me see. I want to be sure. So you have highlight of Nigerian Correctional Service, what they have done over the years. But I must not fail to mention to you that a major achievement of this agency is the fact that we are building a unique custodial facility in each of the geopolitical zones, 6 geopolitical zones of the country. One is almost completed, and I think I don't know whether you can be included. I am planning to sponsor a trip of our journalists, those who are in the ministry, to take a look at what we have in Kano, in Janguza, Kano. That is almost completed. Works are ongoing and in an advanced form in the one here in Karishi, in Abuja, another one in Buri, for River State. Work is ongoing too in the one in Ilesha. Another one is supposed to be in Umahi. I don't know how far we have gone with that. But I'm keen on reporting to you that the 3,000 inmate capacity ultramodern custodial village is an innovation that is almost unparalleled. I'm not sure any such facility exists anywhere in Africa. I want to say, I like to be very hyperbolic. I would have said in the world, but I'm careful. I don't want to be too generous with my claims. But I know there's nothing like that in Africa. North and south of Sahara, none. It's a village. It's a custodial village, and it's worth seeing to appreciate it. Let me tell you one major highlight that I want you to take home. In the facility, we don't use firewood. We use the excrement of the inmates to generate biogas to cook their food, among others. And we have several other facilities like we have a small facility now, but we are planning a big facility that will be a university within the study center, that will facilitate learning of academic and vocational skills. Within the years, we bought 799 operational vehicles of various types to move inmates to and from court, and to run our farms, as well. We have tractors to maintain health facilities, ambulances, and we have a robust healthcare system in our facilities. And I'm very proud of the capacity and professionalism of the service of the correctional service, because they are one of the very few, if not the only, correctional service in the world that did not allow the penetration of the dreaded COVID virus into any of the facilities for the entire duration of the pandemic. None of our facility had the infection. Yes, people may want to we want to remind me that there were 6 people with the virus in Bauchi. I think I'm right. Yes, they had contracted the virus outside before they were arrested. And immediately we knew, because we couldn't get in without a test. Immediately we knew that they had the virus. We isolated them. So they were the ones with the virus. They never infected anybody within our system. And again, we treated them within our service. So none of them died. They were all cured of the virus. Well, Akode is saying that, am I trying to sell our facilities for people to, well, those who want to commit crime can commit crime and end of that. I'm not selling anything. I'm just telling you the level of professionalism and efficiency of our officers in the service, and how we want to make the service a very excellent one. Well, we have tractors, as I said. We are high. We are huge in food production and agricultural service. Well, in terms of preparation, well, to meet our core mandate of corrections and rehabilitation of our inmates, to assist the public access, prompt response to emergencies and public safety concerns, capabilities of the NALAT. These include fire distress alert and response coordination, prevent the use of fire extinguisher for drug trafficking, bomb manufacturing, and concealment, as well as the proliferation of small and light arms, medical alerts and joint ambulance mobilization, crime alert and joint response coordination, etc. Status of the NALAT. It is an integrated mobile application developed to assist the public access prompt response to emergencies and public safety concerns. NALAT is available on Android and iOS phones. This administration also established a command and control room where all alerts are monitored and coordinated real time. The ministry established a multi-agency situation room, which is a centralized command and control room at the ministry for effective monitoring 24/7 and assessing internal security and public safety for the coordination, collaboration, and cooperation of security agencies under the Ministry of Interior supervision. Deportation orders issued by the Office of the Minister. In the last 2 years, the Minister issued a total of 70 deportation orders for the deportation of different nationals from Nigeria due to some infraction or the other. Majority of those deported were from Democratic Republic of Korea, Egypt, Sri Lanka, and a host of others. National celebration on the administration of expatriate quota. So national conference, not celebration. Sorry. National conference on the administration of expatriate quota as at April 14, 2021. The conference held on April 14, 2021. The conference had in attendance critical stakeholders in the administration of expatriate quota and important resolutions which has greatly enhance. I don't know. Let me go through this again. The conference had in attendance critical stakeholders in the administration of expatriate quotas, and it made resolutions which greatly enhanced the efficiency and effectiveness of the delivery of services. One of these recommendations was the need to introduce an inspection regime to sanitize the sector and to enforce compliance with the guidelines, especially with regard to the Nigerian understudy program and expatriate quota racketeering. Establishment of a special task force for the enforcement of guidelines on expatriate quota. My office, concerned about the increasing rate of non-compliance with and total disregard for the rules and regulations surrounding the utilization of expatriate quota and rampant abuses of the facility, established a special ministerial task force on December 1, 2020 to audit the level of compliance and the Immigration Regulation of 2017 and Immigration Act of 2015, as well as with administrative guidelines issued by the Ministry of Interior. Review, and that body is still working. Review of the handbook on expatriate quota administration. The committee reviewed the handbook on expatriate quota administration in order to address salient issues, some of which are reduction of the 10-year lifespan of an expatriate quota position to 7, after which position must be localized. Review the requirement for the processing of the expatriate quota services, and only jobs on the critical skill list will be considered for expatriate quota positions upon sufficient proof by the individual employer that the positions cannot be filled by Nigerians. Committee for the review of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. The ad hoc Senate Committee on Review of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria commenced the process of further amendment to the section of the Constitution. The committee has identified these areas of interest in the Constitution, and an example of this is the need to rectify the gap that leaves minor children of naturalized citizens without any form of citizenship. Another example is the discrimination between the privileges of male and female spouses of Nigerian citizens who desire to acquire Nigerian citizenship. The amendment of legal notices in the Marriage Act. The legal notices contained in the second schedule to the Marriage Act have been amended, approved by the President, and published in the Federal Official Gazette of 16th April 2021, Volume 108. While the review of other sections of the Marriage Act has still been processed, this is a monumental achievement as marriage registries and federal marriage registries bring to an end the discord between local government by bringing them into the fold, recognizing and authorizing them to conduct statutory marriages upon the fulfillment of certain administrative guidelines to put in place by the ministry. National Stakeholders Conference on the Administration and Conduct of Statutory Marriages. This came up May 7, 2021. This conference was held to streamline the process of conduct of statutory marriage and to inform stakeholders about innovations in the administration of marriage. Many critical recommendations arose from the conference, including the need to establish more federal marriage registries across the country, establishment of more federal marriage registries. We commenced the process of expansion of the statutory marriage registries across the country. In the period under review, 5 new federal marriage registries were established in Benin, Benin City, Kano, Jos, Owerri, and Port Harcourt. We are in the process of establishing at least 20 more. Our goal is to set up at least one federal marriage registry in each of the territorial zones where statutory marriages are patronized. The objective is to make statutory marriage process easier and closer to the people who require the services. The total number of statutory marriages conducted in the period under review total number. The total number of statutory marriages conducted in the period under review is 138,309, while the total number of places of worship licensed to conduct statutory marriages is 251. Renovation of the Federal Marriage Registry Abuja. The Federal Marriage Registry Abuja has been renovated to an optimum standard for efficient and effective service delivery to the public, while the Ikoyi Federal Marriage Registry has been penciled down for a major rehabilitation. It's not just renovation, rehabilitation. That will bring it to international standard and will ensure clients have a beautiful and stress-free experience while accessing services. Approval of the National Action Plan to eradicate statelessness in Nigeria. The Ministry of Interior played a key role in the development of the National Action Plan to eradicate statelessness in Nigeria. The ministry is the focal ministry for the eradication of statelessness, but shares responsibility for its implementation with the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management, and Social Development. Both ministries jointly reviewed the draft National Action Plan and presented a memorandum requesting for approval to implement the plan from the Federal Executive Council in November 2020, which was granted. And let me tell you something. This call, Pastor, look, it's there, you will see it. We produced an unprecedented number of passports last year. By December 31st last year, we produced 1.7 million passports. In the annals of Nigeria, that has not happened. And those who say, booklet, as I'm talking to you, we have over 200,000 booklets in our store. So we have enough booklets. We are not denying the fact that there are challenges, there are human-induced challenges. But I want press people to know. It's not for the reasons that people claim glibly that we are challenged. And even at that, if you look at the number of applications vis-a-vis the passports produced, we are over 80% in performance. That is, if you say, okay, how many applications did we have up to 31st of December last year? And how many passports did we produce? We are in performance. We are over 80%. But anyway, take it as given that we produced 1.7 million passports last year. There are proofs of what I've told you. They are on the board. Human capacity development. You have it there, seminars and workshops. Passport reform is even then the operational provision support. Everything that we need to know is in the book with you. Visa reform. Yeah, you don't. If you are coming to Nigeria for a short visit, you don't need to even go to the embassy. You can do your process at home, but you must process your visa online before you can utilize the visa on arrival system. You just don't leave your house and say you want, because the visa on arrival you are coming to Nigeria. You will not be able to enter. You must initiate the process at home, and then when you have all the necessary approvals online, you can pick your bag, and nobody will stop you here. So our budget is there and our performance on budget is there. The Federal Fire Service. In recent times, our nation and fatherland has been a target for varying forms of assault from men of the underworld. It is worthy to note that such attacks from armed bandits, kidnappers, terrorists, rapists, robbers, criminals of all sorts were met with heavy tactical resistance from armed forces, joint task forces, and other security agencies with sound intelligence support. The president has robustly supported this service. Well, it's there written, and the service, their budget is there. They are forging on. They are building very, very beautiful state commands. They are kitting their staff. Look at it. You won't believe that this is a Nigerian. Anything like this never existed before. If they do their, I ask them to do parade in towns, cities, and states so that children will be attracted to the service. It's a fantastic service, and I'm very proud of their professionalism and capacity. We have an academy here in Abuja. Where is that academy? Chida. That is a postgraduate institute. It's of international repute. Students come from all over Africa. So, yeah, you can see what we have done over the years. 2015, you see it, the estimated property saved, last table. In all, from 2015 to date, the service has saved the nation 25.322 trillion naira worth of property. And in that period too, property saved is about 3.189 trillion naira. Property lost, valued by them, is about 3.18 trillion naira. But saved is 25.3. And number of lives saved, 2,144. Number of lives lost, 366. Number of incidents, 11,109. An amazing service, and I'm very proud of them. The Blue Men, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. Well, people don't really appreciate how effective this corps is. I would say I'll just speak lightly on something. In terms of, well, probably I have to be careful because that's not their core mandate. So I have to be careful. I don't want anybody to look at them and fight them. But they are very, very effective in collection of intelligence. Amazingly effective. Yes, you see them everywhere, but they are an amazing tool for gathering very, very actionable and reliable, credible intelligence. Let me leave it at that. You see their appropriation and their performance. What are their mandates? Protection of critical national assets and infrastructure, public and private utilities, and the working environment. Licensing, renewal, and monitoring of private guard companies, monitoring, investigation, and forestalling any planned act of terrorism, embarking on information and actionable intelligence gathering across the country. They are very, very effective. Recruitment, deployment, promotion, and discipline of their staff, and they are fantastic musical band. I don't know whether it's commercialized. If you want to dance all sorts of music and you have an occasion, get to them. They play all sorts of music, all genre of music. They play the Yoruba. They play the Yoruba. They play the any form. They are wonderful. Once in a while, when I want to entertain myself, I go to them. They play for me. I dance. When I'm tired, I leave the place. You will see the list of what they have done. They are building. They are making. They are committed to effective welfare consideration of their staff. They train them. So everything is there. And they are recruiting as well. One is even ongoing now. I know all of you are interested, but there is no. Don't waste your energy. Everything is now digitized, so you apply online. The candidate will be screened online, and I will tell you. But you report everything, so I'll be careful what I say, so that I don't report that. So I will just tell you that don't bother to even meet us now. Wait till when the examinations are conducted. So those of your candidates that scale through that examination order, and the exam is not conducted by any one of us, it's conducted by JAMB, and they get result as they finish. So, depending on where you are from and the quota level there. So my advice is just tell you whoever you are recommending, whoever you want to employ, tell them to prepare hard for the job examination. If you don't pass, nobody can help them, even if they are my children. The list of what they have done, recruitment, employment, there, and they are quite effective in the Niger Delta Basin, preventing, exposing, and controlling any attempt to disrupt our crude oil supply and what have you. So the list of what they have done is there all over the place. So, and they are here, all of them are here to answer your questions. They are not only effective on land, they are effective in the waters as well. They have a unit called Agro Ranger, which is meant to protect investment in agriculture. And equally, they are the leading agency in Safe School Initiative. 420 inmates run various degree and postgraduate programs. 100 inmates enroll for WIC and NECO. And we equally put them through some skill acquisition programs. Details are there for you to see. That service recruited 7,745 people into the service, and we are still proposing to recruit more. We want to expand the capacity of the service to protect our centers. So we are already asking for approval to recruit 2 broad categories of officers: armed guards, armed squad of the service. We want to have more people to 5,000. I can tell you, we are looking at recruiting for 2,000 people into the intelligence unit of the service. The approval is not yet obtained. I'm just telling you what we are planning to do before we leave. That's about the service. Well, capacity building, we have trained about 10,463 additional officers for to handle effectively and efficiently firearms. And I said it earlier, whether here or somewhere, that we are now mandating our in charge, that is officers in charge of each center, not just to carry pistol, no. They must carry high capacity weapons to themselves. Before now, the officers are just officers. They don't know if they had any gunshot, they would dive under their bed. Now, I'm being honest to you, but we have changed that. We have changed that. Since Kuje, we have changed that. They are all now being trained progressively to boldly confront by themselves, to lead the action of repelling whoever attempts to violate our facility. And we have declared the facility red zones. And it's not just red zone verbal declaration. No, You can test us. Somebody can test us. Somebody can test our will. Well, staff welfare. During the period above, under review, 15,000 officers and men were promoted, some of whom had stagnated for upward of 15 years on one rank. New barracks and offices have been built in a number of formations, and some existing barracks and offices have been renovated to provide conducive living and working environment for the officers and men, and we have changed their outlook. If you CG, please, if you don't mind, let them see you. And those officers who are here, Operation Commandant, please. You see, this is the welfare. This is the new outlook. We believe that officers should be confident, should have pride in their appearance. So they have different uniforms for each day of the week. And this is what they are supposed to wear. They are not on this because they want to impress you. This is their uniform for today. And so their spirit is lifted and their morale very well boosted. So we are actually affecting them in a way that will make them proudly serve the nation and protect our facility. Thank you, President. So the list of you have here our budgets and releases. They also promoted and what have you. They are all there. The Nigeria Immigration Service (NIS). The Nigeria Immigration Service is a body legally established by an Act of Parliament, the Immigration Act of 2015. It is charged with, among others, to ensure border security and migration management, as well as internal security functions that the President might order them to do. It is one of the security agencies under the supervision of the Ministry of Interior. As I said, Ahmed Jire is the Acting Controller General. The mandate is written, the deliverables: framework to ease tourist and business visa, full implementation of biometric visa policy at all entry points in the country, creation of additional border patrol bases, production of one-way temporary passports, fully automated visa on arrival process, and premium website for ease implementation, provision of employment, full implementation of IPs, and issuance of passport and other travel documents. If you look at how we list this, what everybody wants to see as the main preoccupation of the Nigerian Immigration Service is the list. Is the list. Based on the mandate of the service and these deliverables, the Nigerian Immigration Service has been able to achieve the following. We have reviewed the visa policy. We have simplified visa process. We have a dedicated website for everything that we do. We have incentive to attract tourists and investors. We are deploying biometric visa everywhere. We are domesticating production of passports. There are 4 bases everywhere. We have not yet fully covered the space, but we are forging ahead. But the areas we have covered are listed 4 bases. We are pushing on border management and control. Passport and other travel document reform. That's where we are very large because we know Nigerians are very sensitive to it. I will talk briefly on that. There is a major reformation going on in passport issuance administration. We are digitizing the process. My plan was to fully digitize the Ikoyi registry by the end of last year, but I've not fully achieved that. What does that mean? When this process is concluded, applicants will not need to bring anything anymore. You complete your process online completely. And by that time, you don't need an agent. There can't be racketeering. You have to hack into the system to access it. But now, it's still not yet fully. I'm on it, and I want to guarantee that we will do it before we leave. That temporary passport thing is done. We have the passport, but we have some issue with our sister ministry, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We are solving it. When it's fully solved, what that means is this: no, our citizens outside Nigeria, at times they have emergencies to come, and they don't have a current passport. Yes, we have introduced a regime of returning home with expired passport, but much as that will be a problem for us to take at our reception desk here, some airlines could be difficult. I can even tell you that we are discussing with South Africa now. South Africa does not permit the use of expired passport as a nation, though contrary to ICAO regulation, because ICAO says that every citizen of a nation, dead or alive, cannot be denied entry to his home, which is logical anyway. But South Africa says as at the last time I checked a file from them through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they are insisting that look, if your passport is not current, you cannot enter, you cannot be taken in or out of our space. It's their policy. You can't deny a nation its own national policy and program. So to avoid that, we introduce what is called temporary electronic passport. Electronic temporary passport is a one-way passport to return home. If you just have the data page of your passport, bring it to the embassy. At the payment of the appropriate fee, you get a temporary electronic temporary passport that is almost exactly the same as your own passport, but it does not have more than one page to take you home. Those who play Monopoly, when I was in secondary school, I used to play Monopoly. There's a portion that when you land, they say go straight to jail. they say go, don't pass, don't go, just go straight. So when you hold the electronic temporary passport, the only way to go is where? Home. No branch, you can't go anywhere. But unfortunately, we are still in negotiation with the Foreign Affairs Ministry. So you will see what we have done with passports. Your references are wrong. And that was why I was insisting. I want to be sure that don't worry, doctor. Now I will explain to you. Your references are wrong. We did not launch any register in the ministry because it's no longer the minister's responsibility to do what you referred to. There is a whole ministry dedicated to that. That's the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Services, Disaster Management, and Social Affairs, I think. So that's the ministry responsible for what we have elaborately spoken about. But, of course, all ministries work together. We are working with that ministry to ensure that effectively a register is developed and is properly updated. So I agree with you that there must be a register of missing persons, which will be regularly updated. So thank you for that. You said my ministry launched it. I said your reference was wrong. Doctor. He said my ministry launched it. Okay. That's what I'm telling you about. Listen, the only we have two operational. Doctor, listen now. I have no reason. Doctor, calm down. I have two, besides service departments, I have two operational departments. I have the Department for Joint Services our Department for Citizenship and Business. The director of those services is not here because all the services are here. The director of C&B, Citizenship and Business, is there. I asked her. No, don't worry. I asked her, when did you launch Missing Persons Register? And she told me very clearly that she never knew of it. So, as far as this ministry is concerned, and this is the PS, so I said your reference to us is wrong. Yes, all these things, most of the things that are humanitarian, most, I didn't say all, used to be with us some years back. But from 2019, when the president created that ministry, the ministry is not responsible for such things. We are no longer responsible for such assignments. Refugee Commission is no longer with us. It used to be with us. It's no longer. So, if you don't manage refugees, if our link refugees, security and documentation at our own level, we cannot therefore be responsible for people who are missing. I agree with you. There should be a register for missing persons. But we are not the ones who are responsible for that. And I cannot accept responsibility for what I'm not so charged for. That's what I've just told you. If my language was offensive, I don't mean to offend you. So thank you. The figure you want of citizens that have renounced their citizenship, but you will get it in the next 1 hour. You will get it precisely. You will get it in the next 1 hour. We have the figure, and we'll give it to you. Thank you. But it's not available now.
Nigerians leaving the country and their impact on passport issuance. Does Nigerians...
What's the impact of JAPA? Because JAPA is not an English word. I hope you know. What's the impact of JAPA on passport issuance? I want to believe it has a huge impact. There is a heavy demand on passport issuance, heavy demand on passport. And if you look at the trend, it's more in the south than in the north, if you want to really get to it. So we're responding to it. I've told you that we issued 1,700,000 passports last year. And that's a clear indication of the fact that there's a heavy demand on passport issuance. So there's no issue about that. It's clear. It's very clear. The demand for passport is rising and growing. The criminals everywhere in the world, not only Nigeria, their effort is to beat the system. But it's like the egg and the hen. It's an eternal struggle. As the underworld is trying to beat the government is seeking to outrun the underworld. It's an eternal struggle. And no government will concede that struggle to the underworld. If any government does, definitely it will reflect badly on the citizens. So, because the government must be on top of all challenges, whatever it takes, whatever is required, we will not allow the criminals to have the upper hand. My sister have answered you now. I have. As a government, the criminals will not have the upper hand. Whatever it is, technology, analog, whatever, we will be ahead of them.
Okay, sorry, hold on, please. We just have one question only. No, we can't do a follow-up now, please. We'll have other questions. So, there are over 5 hands here. There are over 10 questions online. And you know we can't take too much, so please.
Yes, person in civil defense works under me. I'm the authority there. And I've told you, we will not concede an inch to the criminals. Thank you. I have not signed any, I have not renewed, I have not approved any new contract for any service provider, if that will satisfy you. So all that you said could be called balderdash. It's false, absolute false. And I'm not going to enter into any discussion with you on this matter because it's false. Balderdash, false, absolutely false. I've been the minister since 2019. I should renew. If I've not renewed, it's beyond me to renew new contract. It's beyond me to unilaterally approve new contract. But if in the wild imagination of people, they assume erroneous belief about how the system is run, I leave it to your imagination. I've answered you. Everything you said is false. Absolutely. I've answered appropriately that all that is required is being done to ensure domestication of passport production. Passport booklet production, because people even model these things up. There is the booklet, which is not the passport. Passport booklet production is different from even passport issuance itself. It's just that you cannot have passport without the booklet. So, that is done. Let me see other, just to let the world know that the ground on which your question stood is very weak. Well, a very poignant question was asked about the activity of the military on some people that a government claimed to be others. I've not received a report, and I cannot comment on any matter for which I've not been fully briefed. So it's just to tell you, Reuters, yes, I've not received reports on that incident. When I do, I'll be able to provide an insight. Vigilante Group of Nigeria is not known to us. So that does not mean it's not serving some purposes here and there. But as far as we are concerned, and we are our agency, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, is the only organization empowered to register any security outfit. I've asked from the CG, Commander General, he told me that it's not known to them. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a contraption by communities. Of course, if that gives them some sense of security, nobody is saying they should not use them, but it's not known to us. So I cannot therefore answer your question on that. But I know that governments in the southeastern part of Nigeria put up a network called Ebubuagu. So I would like you to please see how you can link up with that organization to support your quest for security and protection. But as civil defense, we are all over Nigeria protecting security to the best of our ability.
Harry, please.
Don't let us abuse this opportunity of very civilized engagement. Let's be civilized. Let's do this in a civilized manner. INEC and us, we are one of several agencies. We are one of several security agencies mobilized to provide security. And I can say, without any fear of contradiction, that the Nigerian government is very well prepared for the elections coming up in February and March of this year. There will be no mishap.
The ones online.
2 questions from online.
Online, let's have your questions.
Okay, I have 2 questions from Mariam Abubakar writing for